This slide here is probably one of the slides that I may get scrutinized the most about grading versus non-grading. Just one of them evil, maybe not evil things, just tough things to do to children or students that are really working, trying the hardest. And you can tell the ones that are trying and working their tails off and things like that to give a less than stellar grade to because of a incorrect answer and things like that. Progress awards. I think that's just one of the staples in K through 6, K through 4, K through 6. Grading is to give them rewards for the progression that they are doing during the school year. Maybe the end of a unit party, or maybe not even a party. Maybe it's just maybe it's the like my math internship. She used to give them all M&Ms. Because it has the M on them. They're mind pills, or they're mind vitamins or something like that for the M&Ms and things like that. So it's just one of them things that would be nice not to have to do, but it's the necessary thing we have to do as teachers. One-on-one conferences. I think this comes from Alfie Kahn. After reading that I think that's great. Having a conference one-on-one, that way you understand and by talking to the student if they truly understand where the information needs to be coming from, rather than maybe waiting for the answer and then writing it down off the board, them kind of things. I know in my math internship, she actually did answer the question, but it was after everybody kind of had to work it out. Maybe that was more of a formal assessment at that point or something, but I'm even thinking that okay, you got it done, you got the unit done, but maybe it's just a quick 3-minute, 5-minute little one-on-one conference when they're doing something on their own, guided reading, or whatever else, maybe another math sheet or something while they're doing it. Just a quick overview of if they really truly understand the information that you're giving them, and if they're applying it. Portfolios, to me, is a no-brainer. Just one of them things where you keep some of the work that the students have been doing or have done throughout the year, sporadically throughout the year, showing, maybe even bring them up at parent-teachers conference, showing the progression that they have made, maybe not only in handwriting, maybe in math, maybe in all in different subject areas. I really like portfolios. I think they're probably going to be a lot of work to keep track of and everything that way. But it's just nice to be able to see progression throughout the year. No homework policy. I don't know about that one. I put it in there because I kind of go around and around where I work right now. Beloit Elementary has kind of taken on, a few of the teachers have kind of taken on this idea of the homework that is going home is not excruciatingly a lot. They're not expecting the student to go home and spend 3 or 4 hours of their evening doing the work. One reason is they're not sure who is doing the work. That is, I think they've found that out in the past, that a lot of the work that's been going home, they take it home and their mom and dad sit down with them at the kitchen table, after supper, 6 o'clock, 7:30. They sit down, they got 3 or 4 hours of homework, that kind of thing. Well, by gosh, we're not going to be able to stay up till 11 o'clock doing homework, so let me just help you out. We'll just go through this and get it done. Kind of goes back to that, game show of, are you smarter than a fifth grader? And I know I hear a lot of flack from a couple of the parents that I work with out at the shop. They kind of bitch and moan that, well, I don't know what they're doing in school because they never send any homework home. Well, I explained to them why they do not, because if the homework is getting done in school, then we truly know who's doing the work. We truly know who is getting full potential out of the information that is going to be given to them in the classroom. I explained that to a couple parents. One of them kind of said, well, I can. Students are doing the work, then having it done right in front of you. I don't know. I think reinforcement's okay. Sending some homework home, to work on, them kind of things. Would I put a lot of credit or throw a lot of points at stuff like that? If one thing is, that's the nice thing about being a teacher is, parents want busy work, send busy work home. Do you need to grade it? No. It's just reinforcement papers you need to work on. Does that need to be said to the parents or the student? Nope, probably not. So, maybe that's that point where, I know my students, my kids in high school, they come home, they do some homework and stuff. That's not saying that they don't call my son at Fort Hays or Skype Xavier at Hays and say, could you kind of help me out with this algebra 2 or physics problem, or could you send me an email of what the formula would be and things like that. So that's just one of them things. I'm not saying there's a no homework policy. I just think I want to make sure that the students in my classroom are truly getting the information that is being given to them, so they are getting the most out of it. It kind of goes back to that thing of understanding, application. Are they getting them kind of ideas to put towards the information that they're getting? There's several different ways of going about fun topics and keeping it kind of exhilarating and things like that. It doesn't just have to be, right to the word in the book and things like that. So that's my idea of grading and non-grading. Grading, there has to be grades at some point, but there's also, to me, maybe the understanding of the information is better than the grade that they're getting. Sufficient, satisfactory, poor, however you want to grade it, and throw a letter grade on it, things like that. But that's just, I guess that's up for debate yet. I'm not there, so we'll see when I get there. Moving on to the next slide.